Want to start? Should I start?
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Swagatam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Bhiyata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhutame Bho Rama Mamudhara. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varandane. Ayyan Rilruk Ayong Ayauch Hayavarat Lan Yamaga Nanam Jabay Garadash Jabagaradash Kapha Cha 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 Ta Taur Kabai Shashasar Hal Iti Mahashra Sutrani. Okay, Happy New Year to everybody. So we had the Vikriti Nama Samvatsaraha. So it started a couple of days ago. We also had the Ramanavami coming in a few days. So happy next week. So we're using the Google Docs now. So this Google Docs, hopefully we can all share this document and make amendments and changes and other kinds of things. Plus Kalpesh is offered to share this and give links to everybody, so we don't have to load it to the Google group anymore. Just give you the link and we'll be all done. So this is going to be the Vikriti Nama Samvatsaraha. Vikriti Nama Samvatsaraha. It was, I think 2 days ago that it started. Samvatsaraha. Should have to improve my typing though. So I think make it. What should I say? Shubhadasyat. Okay, and this is Ramanavami. So, Sri Ramasyapi Anugrahasyat. Anugraha. When I'm writing, I'm not making the sandhis because while writing, if you have a choice, you can pause. You don't have to make sandhis if you don't want to. But if you have to compose, you have to make sandhis. That's generally a good rule. But okay, now this I noticed put this Om as this Pluta Om. Actually, one of the other classes somebody pointed out to me. There is a sutram for that actually. That in the end of 8.2. I think a lot of the classes you might find people chanting this Pluta Om at the beginning of the class, Om, like that. So there is at the end of 8.2 there are a lot of rules which talk about this Pluta Swara, and actually in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumuji they are not there because normally we don't study these sutras which talk about Pluta because they're not to be heard of. So it starts I think from about 8 to this one, 8 to 82. Vakyasya tehe pluta udattaha. From that up to apada samaptehe. At the end of the pada there are all these rules. And the one that people now talk about is dura dute. When you call somebody from far away, you can say then the ending part of the vakyam, the T bhaga will become pluta, he devadatta. So that you can make it like that. But the one I'm talking about is 8 to 87. Om abhyadane means prarambhe. This 8 to 87, Om Abhyadane, the sutram which actually makes the Om Pluta. I forgot to mention it yesterday. I put it in the document, forgot to mention it. But anyway, 8 to 87 is a sutram. Some of the books you'll see in the beginning, they put this one, this Pluta Om. So 8 to 87. Anyway, something new I learned. So I shared with you. 8 to 87 makes the Pluta. So makes the Om, makes the O Pluta, makes the O of Om Pluta when it's at the beginning of, when it's at the beginning. Okay. I think in English it's called prolated. Pluta is called prolated, I think. It's Pluta. Pluta Swaraha. So when it is as a commence, we use as a commencement. We should put that commencement. Okay. All right. So let's start with Raghuvamsham. Let's see what we had last time. I think we start with this. Let me see. I think I have the right shloka here. Okay. I think we are number 9 now. We stopped with last time with that, with the Udya Vidya. I think I remember that. Yes. So we have on shloka number 9. I think we have fairly simple shlokas today. I think we don't have. If you look at the next 2-3 shlokas, there's no Panini Sutra being quoted over here. So I think they are generally, which means that it should be fairly straightforward for us to analyze. Let us start. Tau balati balayoho prabhavato vidyayoho pathi muni pradishtayoho mamlaturna manikutyamo chitau matra sparshva parivartina viva. Again, one more time, slowly. It is also a great exercise. If you just keep on doing this only, you will learn the whole language eventually. It's the most easy way. But you read good text, read them loudly, and slowly you'll catch more and more the language. Same thing Vyakaranam also. You can read Siddhanta Kaumudi, you can read Kashika. Keep on reading slowly, and if you have some Padacheda, slowly you'll get the hang of the Padacheda. Padacheda rules are not that many, only few. So, Tau balati balayoho prabhavato vidyayoh pathi muni padishtayoho mamlaturna mani kutyamo chitau matra parshva parivartina viva. And the Padacheda is being done for you in the commentary here. So it is, so Tau balati balayoho prabhavataha vidyayoho pathi muni padishtayoho mamlatuhu na mani kutyamo chitau. That's a compound. Matra parshva parivartinau iva. This, as you already know by now, this is the trademark of Kalidasa. He puts the iva or yatha in the second half, because upama Kalidasasya. So the Kalidasa is famous for his upama. So you can always almost expect that in almost half of his shlokas you will have that device being used. So that is the famous statement, upama Kalidasasya. Okay, I'm sorry, Kalidasasya. Got to improve my typing. Kalidasasya, dasasya. Okay. All right. So we got the Padacheda. Now Terry has a question. What's the question? Terry, you have a question?
No, Satish, I was just saying that prolated is correct.
Yeah, but sometimes I think, I tried typing prolated in let me do it, because I think this Microsoft Word may not like that word. Let me try it. Prolated. Let me see if it likes it. Is that a regular accepted term? It is, okay.
I found it in Goldman's, and I've seen it elsewhere also.
Okay, so prolated is correct. Okay, thanks, Terry. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Okay, so prolated is the English term for the prolated. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back to the shloka. So this, what is the verb? How do you attack this shloka now? So first thing is find the verb, because ekating vakyam, because you need a verb to make a sentence, and if there is no verb, you have to supply a verb, and that which need to be supplied is generally going to be a dhatu as or bhu or paryaya vachakaha, which means like vartate, vidyate, those kind of verbs. Generally you can only supply those, unless something is available with the context, which is coming down from a prior voice. You can use that also. So what is the verb in this shloka? Anybody? Which verb do you have? Okay, Karthik's got the answer. We'll keep him as a backup. Padma is that. Let's give Padma a chance. What is? Namaste, Padmaji.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Yeah. Mamlatuhu.
Mamlatuhu is the verb. Thank you. Radhika, you also had the answer. Mamlatuhu is the answer. What is the dhatu there?
Mlana.
It's not mlana. Mlana is a form from the dhatu.
Oh.
Karthik has the answer. Let me see if Radhika ji knows the answer.
Oh.
Yes, Radhika ji.
Mla. No, I don't know the dhatu.
Okay, mamlatuhu. Okay. Anybody else besides Karthik?
Oh,
Okay. Now, okay, let me give Karthik a chance. Now, let's see. Karthik has the answer.
Is it mlai?
Dhatu is mlai. Dhatu is mlai. And it's very easy because there are very few dhatus in the language which start with mla. So dhatu mla. So in fact, this is a very similar form in the Bhagavad Gita, dadmatuhu. So dadmatuhu. So when we have in the first adhyaya, when everybody blows their conches in the Gita, so where we have the tasya sanjanayan harsham kuru vriddhah pitamaha simhanadam miladyochaihi shankam dadno pratapavan tatas shankascha bhairyascha panavanaka gomukaha सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तुमुलो भवत ततश्वेतैर्हये युक्ते महतिस्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः. Very similar form. Very similar form. So in fact I want to point one more shloka in Gita which will get the similar dhatu. So I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong adhyaya. I need the first chapter. Pradadmatuhu. There the dhatu is dma. So I'll put this in the document. Being to realize that making the good document is one of the main objectives of this class. So because many people are listening to the recording and we have to try to keep it error free and as descriptive. It takes some time in the class, I know, but I think it's worth it to the effort. Okay, here it is. Pradadmatuhu. So it's the 14th shloka of the first chapter in Gita. Divyau shankau pradadmatuhu. So mamlatuhu. Of course, para is upasarga. It sounds very similar to dadmatuhu. So dadmatuhu means they are to blow. So the two of them, Madhava Pandavaschaiva. So that this, so Lord Krishna and Arjuna, they together blew their conches, two conches. So this is a dual form. Okay, so in Gita 1.14, now my question for you, Karthik, is that now if you have dhatu mlai and the dhatu is dma, now how come we get a similar form with these two?
Because mlai, that I becomes an a as a nitya karyam.
Very good, very good. By what sutra?
I don't remember the sutra.
Ahadej uptej ashiti.
Yes, thank you. Kalpeji has the answer, so very good. So we can keep the class interactive so people can participate. 1.14, the dhatu, we have the form pradadmatuhu. Okay, so Karthik was right, but Kalpeji has sutram also, pradadmatuhu.
6145.
Okay. 6145, yes, thank you. Okay, here the root is dma. While our form is mamlatuhu. So what we have here is mamlatuhu. But you can suspect it's going to be a similar form, mamlatuhu. And here the root is mlai. Now can we tell me in Bhagavad Gita, is there a similar root to this root which comes? Very similar root, only one letter different. And where does it come? Very, very one of the most famous shlokas of Gita. As if you go to any temple or even in restaurant you find this. You should not go to restaurant, but if you go, you will find this also there. So what shloka is there? Okay, Terry has the answer. Okay, anybody else? Let me put it. Yeah, Terry, I'm coming to you. Give me 1 second. Let me just put this here. Okay. Yes, Terry.
I think it's yada yada hi dharma
Very good.
glanir bhavati bharata.
Very good. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthana dharmasya tadatmanam sajamyam paritrana sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Which adhyaya is that, Terry?
That's third adhyaya, no?
No, not I think it's fourth.
Fourth, fifth, it's
Yeah,
like verse
fourth.
15. 15?
Something around there, but it's four. Let me just double check. Which is not. It's not third adhyaya. Third adhyaya is karma yoga. This is not in there.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, this is fourth
Oh, is it
adhyaya.
third?
Yada yada dharmasya. So mlai and glai. There are two dhats which are very similar. Meaning also is almost same. Mlai and glai. So okay. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Here it is. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So the glanir, dhatu glai. So this is chapter 4, number 7. So you have these two if you know Gita in and out, you know, you can make very good guesses of these different forms. So Terry is right. The word is glanihi, and that comes in Gita 4.7. Gita 4.7. 4.7. Okay, just like in English, because we hear these forms and we make connections. You know, we make different connections from what we already know. So glanihi. Okay, now in our case, what is happening is that this mlai is changing to mla by the Sutram 6145. Now 6145 changes the mlai to mla. Now what is the condition for that, Kalpesh?
Ashiti.
Ashiti. That means that the pratyaya which is coming should not have the talavya sha as a marker. So adesh upadeshe shiti. Adesh upadeshe, very, very important sutram, very commonly used. Like if you have a dhatu like dhyai, it becomes dhyanam. Gai becomes ganam. So these are all very, very common forms in the language. You know, I think we all know the word dhyanam, but dhatu is dhyai. So adesh upadeshe shiti. As long as the pratyaya which is coming is not going to be one which has a talavya sha as an it, then this sutra immediately applies to any dhatu ending in an H. So ad echaha. Upadesh, it has to be an upadesha, but it should not have become an H through some riddhi or some guna, anything like that. So when bhu becomes bho in bhavishyati, that bho will not become bha. It has to be, in upadesha means dhatu pathe. In dhatu patha, it should be a ajanta dhatu. Then it immediately becomes a adanta dhatu, means ending in long a. If you know the pratyaya coming is not talavya sha as an it. So this is a nitya karya. Nothing can stop this rule in general. Even before you do anything, first, if you want to use a dhatu, that's the lesson for today. If you want to use a dhatu ending in a, I, o, au, then you immediately check, first of all, if you are using it in a form where the pratyaya which is coming is not doesn't have this talavya sha as a marker, then immediately make it a. So now in our case, what do we have? So 6145 is what you want to use. In our case, what do we have? We have the form that says, look at this ending atus. Look at the ending atus. There's only one atus ending in all of verbal forms. Only one atus ending. The moment you see atus, you gotta be, but you gotta be careful now. There's an us ending. There is an ending called there's an ending called us. So you have to be careful now. If you have an ending, if you have dhatu ending in takara, then you might word like petuhu. Of course, there you don't have atus. But if you know the ending is atus, you can. And it has to be a third person dual. So the third person. So if you don't know anything at all, even if you just know the third person dual, it has to be a parasmai padam. So parasmai padam. And it has to be a lit lakara. That's the only possibility if you have this ending atus. Now why is that? Where is that coming from? Normally our ending in parasmai padam is what? It's going to be tip tas ji. So tas is normally ending. The default ending is tas. But that tas, the tip tas ji becomes null atus us. Null atus us. And the good news about lit is because parokshe lit. Lit is only used when the speaker has not experienced the action directly. So it's 99% only third person. So don't worry about the remaining 6 endings. You don't need them, because for the most part you only need the first 3. And if you only need the first 3, so remember that the tip becomes tip goes to null. So tip is replaced by this pratyaya called null. And in Gita, you have all 3 forms in the same adhyaya. You call it from dadmau, dadmatuhu, and dadmuhu. In that same sequence. Of course, the dadmau is a little bit of an exception because the null becomes au by the further replacement. But you have all 3 of them in the same adhyaya. So you get like how about the very first statement? This Arjuna or the Dhritarashtra Uvacha. That Uvacha, the ending is null. So now tip replaced by null. And then the tas by atus, which is what we have here, and the last one is the G, which normally becomes Juvantah, becomes Anti. That is replaced by Us. So just remember these three, Us ending. Okay. So now quickly give you the sutras for that. All these rules, all these replacements which depend on the lakara. So lakara sambandhi adeshaha. They all come at the end of 3.4 in the lasya adhikara. And they are also nitya karyani. Nothing can stop them really. So before you do anything else, the moment the lakara comes, you apply the sutra in 3.4 fearlessly, because they're not going to be stopped by anything else coming later on. So they depend only on the lakara. So as long as that, let's say lat is there or lit is there or lung is there, whatever it might be, immediately these adeshas come. So always if you form any verbal form, the first thing you want to do is you bring the dhatu plus the lakara, whether it's lat or lit or lut, whatever it might be, and then apply this sutra in 3.4. Then only look forward to anything else that is coming. So in 3.4.77 is the lasya adhikara. The first step is, so these first two steps, everybody in the class should know, is you dhatu plus lakara. In our case, mlai plus lit. Second step, you have to bring in one of these 18 substitutions, 9 plus 9, depending on which parasmapada, atmanepada, first person, second person, third person, single, dual, plural. So these two can do automatic, just without thinking. So we should have mlai plus lit, then mlai plus tas. In our case, because we have this lit lakara, the third. So these first two steps we should do all the time. All the time. For any dhatu, any lakara. Just do dhatu plus lakara, then tip tasji. Then comes so these two steps. Now the third step which is coming for us right now is this parasmay padanam 3.4.82. Nal atus us, thal atus nal vamaha. We only need the first three because most of the time it's going to be third person. So 3.4.77, 78, and then 3.4.82. So these are the steps that we need. See, as I mentioned to you, that Panini excels in these tingantas because for a few reasons, because tingantas are well behaved, and without Panini, tingantas are very difficult to master, because you cannot memorize all these forms. And the heart of the sentence is the tingantas. When you put all that together, then it's hard to do without these Panini sutras. So okay, so first we had mla plus lit, because we know that this lit doesn't have any talaveshas, it is not going to come. So mla plus. So here we use 6.145, and then after that we got the tiptasji, which is the 3.178. So we got mala plus tas in our case, and then we got the so this is 3.478, and then we got the mala plus atus. Now one thing which happens in lit lakara is that we get this abhyasa or duplication. So mala plus atus. Atus. Now duplication, what takes duplication in the language are only few rules, and they come in 6.1. Now when do you have to do abhyasa? So abhyasa, so this is the duplication. So abhyasa, you can say avasaraha, you can say abhyasa sthalani, you can say. These all come in the beginning of 6.1. You get, so there you have one sutra we say liti dhatur anabhyasasya, and that is coming in I think 6.1. So we look at these few sutras from 6.1.1, ekachodve prathamasya, all the way up to this down, I think up to this one, like 6.1.11 really. And the main ones really are this one, this 6.1.8, 9, 10, 11. So 6.1.8, 9, 10, 11. They tell you when to do abhyasa. So 6.1.8, 9, 10, 11. If you don't remember all this, it's okay, but I'm going to repeat it anyway, so those who want can get the details. Otherwise, you can just remember the important things. And there is liti dhaturanabhyasasya. Liti dhaturanabhyasasya. So when the lit pratyaya follows, the dhatu will take abhyasa one time. Now abhyasa generally means, what does abhyasa mean? Ekacho dve prathamasya. So the ekacha bhagaha. So prathamasya ekachaha bhagasya dve bhavataha. So the first part which has no more than one ach, ekacha bhagaha. And if it has more than one vowel, then it will be, most dhatus in this language have only one vowel. So prayena dhatavaha ekachaha bhavanti. So very few dhatus have more than one ach, unless they are derived dhatus. But in the dhatu partha itself, 95% of them have only one ach. So when you're making a guess for a dhatu, try to make a guess which has only one ach, because anekach is very few. So if it has anekach, even then, only if it's ajadi, the second ach will take duplication. Ajader dvitiyasya. So if it is anekach and it is ajadi, then only the second ach, the second vowel will take duplication. But 99% of the time, you need only 611. Ekacho dve prathamasya. Now the thing to remember here is that the consonants go along with the vowels. The consonants have really no independent existence as such, So when you do the abhyasa, you do, the A takes abhyasa here. That's the sutram, I think, was 618, right? So the 618, the niti dhaturan abhyasasya, so that 618, you have to do abhyasa for this A. But then what happens is that on the either side, the consonants, they go with the vowel until you hit the beginning of the dhatu, or the next vowel, or the end of the dhatu. So you have to keep on taking all the consonants on either side until you hit another ach, or you hit the beginning or the end. So here we have a, and on this side we have the ma, la. On the right side we have nothing. So that's why we are going to make it into the mla, and then atus. That's what we have now. So we used 618, which tells us to do abhyasa along with 611, and that's what we have. Now this part is called abhyasa, purva abhyasaha. So this prior one is called abhyasa. And what changes take place in abhyasa? They come at the end of the 7.4, which I mentioned a few times, but mentioned to you again. If you know these, if you know these Ashadhyayi territories, it becomes a lot easier for you to understand what rules to apply. And here this from 7.4.58 goes atralopo abhyasasya. And 59, 60, 61, 2, and then 66. It's only about 5-6 rules. So first say that in rasvaha, so in abhyasa, the vowel becomes rasvaha. So we have mula in abhyasa, it's going to become mula. Then haladi shesha, so 7.4.59, 60, is the hal can remain in abhyasa only if it is the first member. A hal cannot stay unless it's the first member. So we do have the ma as the first member. So adi hal shishyate, anye halaha lupyante. So other hals are gone. So applying these two rules, 7.4.59 and 60, we get the I'm going a little bit fast, but we have done this before, so I don't want to. And if you want to practice, you can look up the details. So 7.4.59, 60, you're going to get the ma. So 7.4.59. Maybe from next time we'll go a little bit faster. 7.59, 60. You're going to get ma. These abhyasa rules are very, 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 very useful. They're not complicated. They give you great bang for the buck, so please memorize them. Please try to refer to them continuously, because they come under many, even the very first statement of Gita, Dhritarashtra Uvacha, there itself you have abhyasa. Very first statement you have abhyasa right there, Uvacha. Okay, so mamla atus. Now, what do we need now? Mamlatuhu. So what operation do we need here? Anybody? What operation do we need?
Ato lopa iticha.
Ato lopa iticha. So what Kalpej is saying is that first of all, we would have had the akasavani dirghaha. You would have had akasavani dirghaha. But there is a special rule which says ato lopa iticha. What that means is that if you have the pratyaya which is ardha dhatuka following, it should be ajadi ardha dhatuka. It should be either a kit or a nyit pratyaya. Either that, or should have an idagama with it. Sutra number 6464. 6464. If these conditions are satisfied, then this akara is lopasyat. I'll repeat it one more time. So what do we need? We need a adanta anga first of all. So this is angasya adhikara. So we need a adanta anga. Now there is one more. Now how about between akasavani dirgha and ato lopa iticha? Why are we applying the ato lopa iticha, not the other one? See, there are 4 steps that we need to go through. First is that is one the apavada of the other? In this case, they are not, because both akasavani dirgha and ato lopa iticha have applications in plenty of other places. One is not the subdomain of the other. That's the first step. If any sutra is an apavada, means a subdomain, it has to be given a chance in its subdomain. Otherwise, the sutra will have no chance at all. So if the sutra has no chance at all, then it should be given a chance. Otherwise, it should be removed. So this is not apavada. The second rule is that if you can argue between bahiranga and antaranga, a rule which is an external rule has to wait what is an internal rule. Now, for example, if you have an agama which is coming in to join a pratyaya, between the agama and that pratyaya itself is an internal what's called antarangam. Is an internal rule. It has to apply first. And the other rules which is between that unit and something else have to wait. So the interblock has to wait for the intra-block. The inside a unit has to be done first before you go outside. So here can we use that? No, because this is one dhatu, this is angam, this is a pratyaya. Whether you apply akasami dirgha or whether you apply the atolopa iticha, they are both interacting between these 2 blocks. Because atolopa iticha requires this, and this one requires. So this is not going to help us. The third is nitya karyam. Nitya karyam is when one rule applies, other will not apply. But when the other applies, this one will still apply. This one will still apply. So can we use that maybe? Let's see what happens. Let's say we do the akara lopaha. Then we cannot do akasavani dirgha. Well, let's say we do akasavani dirgha. Can we do akara lopa still? Probably not, because now it is that has come and joined it. So we cannot probably do that either. But then the last step is that the parakaryam will rule. The parakaryam. So 6464 is a later rule compared to akasavani dirgha. I think the akasavani dirgha is rule number, I think 61, like 101ish. I think that's the rule. So this one will so we don't apply akasavani dirgha. There's one more thing which I want to mention, the reason I'm going through all this is that don't apply the 61101, which is the akasavani dirgha, because it's an earlier rule. So after going through all these steps, but there's one more thing to consider here, is that varnad angam baliyaha. Varnad angam baliyaha. So if you have a varna karyam, so when you talk about akasavani dirgha, it's only between a and a, between 2 varnas. It doesn't depend on any angam or anything like that. That has to wait for the anga karyam to take place. So all the rules in the angasya adhikara, which is from 6, 4, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, they have first priority over these sandhi rules which come in 6.1. So varnad angam karyam baliyaha. So this is one thing which you all should also remember. A little bit too advanced from some of you, but it's okay. I want to mention that. So those are interested. So varna means varna sambandhi karyat. That's varna. Varna is a tadita from varna. So when you make a tadita from varna, become varna. So varna sambandhi karyam. So varnad, you can say angam is also a tadita from anga. So angam karyam, it's a bracket karyam, angam karyam. You will need, sometime we will need this. So angam baliyaha. So baliyas. Varnad angam baliyaha. So even certain rules which are coming, which are different between the, not only the rules in 6.1, but there are other rules which depend only on the varna. So they have to wait. So varnad angam baliyaha. So the Varnakaram has to be done first. So either way, we have to apply 64, 64. And what are the conditions there? It should be a pratyaya which is Ardha Dhatuka. The word sutram for Ardha Dhatukam is Ting Shit Sarvadhatukam, Ardha Dhatukam Sheshaha. So when any pratyaya which is presaid after a dhatu, dhatu iti vihitasya. If it is not the thing with those 18 endings, or if it's not the talavya shas and it, remaining everything else is Ardha Dhatukam. So Ting Shit Sarvadhatukam, Ardha Dhatukam Sheshaha comes at the end of 3.4. So this is going to be a pratyaya which is Ardha Dhatukam. Why do we need that? Because that Sutram 6464 requires a pratyaya which is Ardha Dhatuke Pare. Otherwise you cannot use 6464. So we have to make sure that all the conditions of 6464 are satisfied. When you apply any Sutram, make sure the conditions are satisfied. So 34114, which makes this pratyaya into Ardha Dhatukam. So 34114 is going to make this makes the atus into the into pratyaya which is Ardha. I'm sorry. Ardha Dhatuka Pratyaha. Ardha Dhatuka Pratyaha. That's number one. Secondly, we also need a pratyaya which is kit or nit. So the reason why I did this was because if you look at 6464, where it is coming in there is adhikara which says Ardha Dhatuke. We start from 6446. Under that we are doing this applying this ato lopa iticha. So 6446 starts Ardha Dhatuke. Ardha Dhatuke. And that we are applying 6464 ato lopa iticha. Now the last thing we need is to make the atus into a pratyaya which is either kit or nyat. The atus itself doesn't have any ka or nga as a marker. But now from 121 to 1226, there are 26 rules which Panini gives to define what is kit or nyat by extension. Because it doesn't have sakshat kakara it nasti, it's not there. So we don't have the kakara in it directly to be seen. But we can look at this section to see if we can find something. And there is a Sutrakam 125 which is Asanyoga lit kita. Asanyoga lit kita. So if you have a apit lit, so not the tip, sip, mip, any of the others. Right now we're looking at atus came in place of tas. Apit lit kit syat. Asanyogat apit lit kit syat. So we don't have any sanyoga. Now did we have sanyoga here, by the way? Did we have sanyoga? Did we have sanyoga? No, because the angam is ending in letter A. The sanyoga is prior to the A. The mula was prior to the A. Because to apply 125, we have to use we have to make sure the anga is not sanyogantam angam nasti. It is not sanyogantam angam because the anga is ending in A, not in mula. Mula came before the A. So the angam for atus is mamla. This is the angam. So this is not a sanyogantam angam. So 125 makes this. So 125 makes, and now we got everything that we need to apply 6464. So makes the atus as a kit pratyaya. Makes atus as kit by extension because it doesn't actually have cause in it. So now we have all the conditions satisfied, which is that we do have pratyaya, which is ardha dhatuka, which is ajadi, which is kit, and when all that has happened is af mla goes. So then we're now going to have mla atus, and that completes the form. The same steps you apply in dadmatuhu, same steps in Gita dadmatuhu. I think you don't need 6145 there because you already have a dhatu ending in a over there. So you just join, and then you're going to get the form mamlatuhu. Just one more thing to point out to you is that there is one more section called Ardha Dhatuka in the Ashtadhyayi. That comes in 2.4. So there are two adhikaras called Ardha Dhatuka in the Ashtadhyayi, in 2.4 and 6.4. The 2.4 is not in the Angasya Adhikara. There will be situations when the entire dhatu gets replaced and becomes a new form. So that is the this 2435 starts Ardha Dhatuke. like when dhatu bhu becomes as becomes bhu ardha dhatuke, bru becomes vash ardha dhatuke. So all those come in this 2-4-35 onwards ardha dhatuke. But we want the one in the 6-4-64. We got the form mamlatuhu. So for those who don't want to go in all these details, I just mentioned to you that look at the ending atus. That ending atus is a clear indication to you that we are looking at most likely a third person dual prasmipada lit form. And if you know the simple abhyasa rules, you can probably guess the dhatu beginning with mula. And there's, I think there are very few dhatus, maybe only one, not that many, which begin with mula. So if you know that much, you can then guess the dhatu is mlai. After that, you still have some open questions, because you will need 6-1-45 and you will need 6-4-64 to complete the form. But at least you got the meaning, you got the dhatu mlai, you got the meaning is third person dual form. You may not know how that I went away. The I actually became A and the A went away. But okay, at least you got the meaning. It's enough for you to. I'm looking at the dhatu part. Actually, there are some dhatu being with mla, with only one, which is mlai is only one dhatu. Because others have a lot of they all ending in ach, means in consonants, which would not have dropped. So, okay, Vasu has a question. Let's talk to Vasu.
Hanji.
Yes.
If you walk glide through the same process,
Would
how
you
would
grai?
Yeah. How would it look like for the same usage?
Now, is it dhatu like grai? What does it mean?
Isn't there a dhatu glai?
Glai.
Glai. Yeah.
Oh, glai with the lakara. Yeah. So glai will become gaglatuhu.
Gaglatuhu. Okay.
Gaglatuhu, same form. Gaglatuhu.
The glai, one is fading, another is suffering, right?
I think they are very similar meaning. If you let's look at what Apteji says for glai and mlai. So I think glai is glanir means like deterioration. To deteriorate is glani. And mlai means to be fatigued or tired, I think is.
Yeah, when a flower withers, you say mayati.
Okay, so it is. Let's see. This is subtle change. Let's see. Let us look at the dhatu mlai and versus glai. Let's look at the meanings in apte. Let's see what. See here the Panini cannot help you with the meanings because he can only give you the grammatical forms. The meaning we're supposed to know on our own.
Yeah.
Let's go to apte. Let's see what mlai is being given in apte. Okay, we got mlai and words starting with. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's see mlai. Only one mlai. Okay. Okay, to fade, to wither. Okay, to grow weary or languid, fatigued. I think the one we want is fatigued is what you have here, by the way. Fatigued or exhausted. So here it is. He quotes from Raghuvamsham. He's quoting from the same shloka. So patihi mamlaturna mani kuttimochitau. He goes good. So this Raghuvamsham is regarded as also very standard text for Vyakaranam. How do we know that? Because when you look at the Siddhanta Kaumudi, Bhattacharya quotes a lot from examples he takes from Raghuvamsham. So he tries to justify. Sometimes he also has a problem with that. But most of the time he takes examples from here as being authoritative. So whatever usages are given by in this Raghuvamsham, they're considered to be also Bhattikavyam. They are considered to be authority. Gita also, but this one is also. So mamlatu is to fade, to wither, to grow weary, fatigued, exhausted, also to be sad, dispirited. Okay, to be thin, emaciated. Okay, let's try glai now. See what glai comes back with. Okay, let's take glai and see what that gives. Back to search page. We're starting with search. Let's try that. Let's see what that is. He's probably going to quote this Gita shloka. My guess would be that. So he's giving to feel aversion or dislike, to be unwilling or disinclined. Okay, to be fatigued, same. Wearied and fatigued, same meaning. To feel tired, exhausted. To sink in spirit, be dejected, similar. To to fade, also same meaning, faint away. Okay, so Pragvati. So similar meaning to emaciated, not that much different, right? To wither and to, I guess wither meaning is not here, but otherwise a lot of meanings are common meanings. So he could have used glai here also, I think. It's for, so for our shloka, I think both would have worked. So it would have become mamlatuhu, could have been gaglatuhu also. But yes, so thank you. So we have these various meanings. So let's go back to the verse now. There was a difficult grammar part in the shloka. Rest of them are fairly straightforward. So we're expecting a subject for this. So who is the subject for that? There's only one word in this, which is the subject for this one. Anybody in the class? Kartik has the answer. Anybody else? This is an easy one. Is Anup, are you there? Maybe Anup is not there. Okay. Let's see. We'll take some. Vasu should know the answer for this. So Vasu, who's the subject over here for this one? Looking for a dual, first-person dual form. Okay, Radhika has the answer also. I'll give you a chance. Well, a lot of answers. Padmaji has the answer. Okay. Radhika ji, what's the subject?
Tau.
Tau, yes. Tau Rama Lakshmanau. And that also has an adjective here. Mani Kuttimo Chitau. This is an adjective, but it's Tau. Tau Rama Lakshmanau. So once you know the, thank you. Once you know the, thank you Padmaji also. So once you know the verb, you can look at the subject. So simple sentence is that Tau Rama Lakshmanau na mamlatuhu. So the two of them did not feel tired or exhausted or weary. Okay. So that's the simple sentence. Actually, there's one more adjective here. Matra Parshva Vartinau. Parivartinau. So the two adjectives for that. So we'll come to that. Now we have here is Balati Balayoho Prabhavataha. Look at this Prabhavataha. Prabhavataha. This is the ending which is called the Tasi Pratyaya. Tasi. And that comes mainly a sense like, it means Prabhavat, Panchamyarthe. So it comes in Panchamyarthe. It also comes in the, see, there are two places where Tasi is defined. Anyway, we're not going through the sutras, too many sutras, but we can, mainly if you see a Tas ending, that means due to, because of. So in English, you can simply say because of, Prabhavataha. So due to the efficacy, due to the power, Prabhava is like power. Maybe the same word in English, maybe Prabhava is power. Due to the power of what? Is Balati Balayoho Vidyayoho. So that is Shashti. So Balati Balayoho Vidyayoho is Shashti Dvivachanam. Now what's the Prajapati in Balati Balayoho? Anybody? What's the Prajapati come in the form Balati Balayoho? What are the choices that we have? Okay, Vasu has to as answering. Let's see. What are the choices that we have? Yes.
It refers to the mantra Bala Atibala.
So
Bala
now,
Atibala.
correct. But what is the Pratipadikam?
Bala Atibala.
That's one choice. Any other choice for that? Will any of the word give us the form Balati Bala? Yes, it can be Balati Bala. So it could be Bala and Ati Bala. Because I think it's qualifying Vidya. So Balati Bala is Sita Vat Pratipadikam. Ramavat. Because Sita also becomes Sita Yoho. Rama also becomes Rama Yoho. So now we don't know which one it is over here. But look at this word Vidya Yoho. So they are qualified for this Vidya Yoho. This is the word Vidya. So Vidya becomes Vidya Yoho. So these both become the same forms. So here I think what we have is that, because if you look at the Vyakhyanam down here, see, look at, he's quoting from the Ramayanam. Balam ati balan chaiva patataha. So Balam and ati balam. So that's how we can look at that, and because it's qualifying the Vidya Yoho. So the Prajapati is Balati Bala. So Balati like Sita Yoho, Rama Yoho, like Rama Pratipadikam. That's Shashti, and when you have Shashti, make the Sambandha. So the connection is with the word Prabhavaha. So Balati Balayo, and what is the commentary saying? Balati Balayor Vidyayoho, Balati Bala Akshayor. Why is he saying that? Because what he's saying is that we really have these two kind of nouns hanging there. Now generally one noun cannot really qualify another noun directly like that. So what he's making Vidya as the noun there, and he's making the other one as the Bahuvri adjective to that. So by the power of these two mantras, which had the name of Bala and Atibala. So Bala Atibala Akshayoho. So he's converting this noun to you to make into an adjective qualifying the Vidyayoho. So Bala Atibala Akshayoho, and he's commenting Vidyayoho as Mantrayoho. Mantrayoho. So this Mantra Vidya. So that's what he has done. So by the power of these two mantras, which had the name Bala and Atibala, and now Pati. Where is coming in Gita the word Pati? Anybody? Quick prize in the Gita, the word Pati in Gita. Anybody? Oh, Terry has the answer. I'm impressed. Terry has known Gita very well. Yes,
Paripantino.
Terry.
Yeah,
Yes, Terry?
question about, yes, I'm trying to remember the sloka. I think it is in chapter 6 where Arjuna asks
Very good,
about
very good.
Brahmanapati.
Fantastic. Oh, Terry is coming really strong today. So this is Arjuna Vacha. He says, Arjuna Vacha Shloka, Vimoda Brahmana Pati. This says, Kachinna Vibhrashtash, Chinna Pramyomanashyati. So it comes in the sixth adhyaya of Gita. It comes in sixth adhyaya of Gita when the Lord says that, so Arjuna asks for someone who doesn't attain perfection in yoga, what happens to him? That comes towards the end of the sixth adhyaya, maybe like around 40-ish or so. Arjuna Vacha. Ayatish Shadhayo Peto Yoga Chilita Manasaha Aprapya Yoga Samsiddhing Kangating Krishna Gacchati Kachinno Bhaya Vibhrashtash Chinna Bhavanashyati Vimuda Brahmanaspati. So here it is. Kachinno Bhaya Vibhrashtash Chinna Brahmivanashyati Apatishto Mahabaho Vimuda Brahmanaspati. So Pati. So Terry, now next question for you. What's the Pradipadikam here? Any ideas?
Pant, isn't it?
No, it's not really Pat. It's actually Padin is Pathin.
Patin.
It's Padin is Pathin. So now when we have Pradipadikam as Pathin, so Gita is shloka number 6.38. Same word is coming in Gita. Same word 6.38 in Gita. You have the word Pati, word of Brahman of Pati. This is a strange word. It has 2-3 rules of its own, and the Pratipadikam is going to be Pathin. Now let's see. Does anybody know the rules for this? Pratipadikam. The Pratipadikam is Pathin. Now, so for here also same thing we have to do. The moment we have Pathin, we have to first go to the add the Pratyaya, which is going to be Ni. So let's see, Suzanne has a question. The sounds keep disappearing. Can anybody hear me fine? Anybody else can hear me fine?
I can hear you.
Okay. Are we okay with the sound? Okay. I think sound is okay. I think Suzanne is saying the sound is not coming. Okay. Maybe speak a little bit louder. So Pathin is Pradipadikam. And Pathin you have to add the Saptami Ekavachanam, which is going to be the Pratyaya Ni. So we know something needs to remove this in for us, because if we do that, then we're going to be in business, because then we're going to get the Pat plus Ni. Anybody know where this sutram might be? Okay. Now one thing, this sutram is a little bit tough to find. I'll tell you why. Because when you add Pathin plus Ni, Pathin gets the Bhasanya because of Yachibham. Yachibham. So do you know what that is, Terry? Yachibham?
Yachibam is if it's akara and the pratyaya begins with akara, correct? Or not?
With the
not
ach or yakara.
Ach.
Yachibham.
Ach.
Yachi.
Ach.
Yachi. Ya or ach. And has to be pratyaya, which is Suadi pratyaya. But not Sarvanamasthane. So Swadishva Sarvanamasthane, not the first 5 in the masculine.
Right after the first 5. Yeah.
Remaining 5, this pratyaya is if it's a non-Sarvanamasthana. So Swadishu, Asarvanamasthane, has to be Yakaradi or Ajadi. So 1-4-18. 1-4-18, we get the Bhasanya for this. Now normally what happens is that all these rules which relate to the Bhasanya, they come at the end of 6.4. And I'm sorry. they come at the end of 6.4. So 64129 starts the Bhasya Adhikara. 64129 starts the Bhasya Adhikara. So that would be the place to look for all these rules. Unfortunately, this one is not there. Unfortunately, this one is not there. The reason that this one is not there is because, like, just like when we did the Abhyasa rules, there's one Abhyasa rule which is coming at the end of 8.4, which is the Abhyasa Charcha. Same thing here is that this rule is using the Anuvritti. And because Panini has the Anuvritti available there, so he puts this rule, even though it is a Bha-dependent rule, it's coming in a different place in the Ashtadhyayi. And Sutram is Bhasya Ter Lopaha. So he specifically, because it's more economical for Panini to put the word Bhasya somewhere else and use all the Anuvrittis, then separate it and put in the Bhasya Adhikara and lose Anuvritti that is available there. I'll tell you where it is, and then you can appreciate what's going on. So Sutram is Bhasya Ter Lopaha, is 7188 is the Sutram, 7188. And why is that? This is outside the Bhasya Adhikara, so it's a little bit difficult to find, 7188. So when you have these three Pratipadikams which are given there, Pathin is one of them. If it has a Bhasanya, it takes a T Lopaha. So that ending in, which is the T Bhaga, is lost. So 7188 is a Sutra. Now why is it put over here? You can see that the Anuvritti is coming down of this Pati, Mati, Rubuksham. So these three Pratipadikams are only have special rules for them. So it would not make sense to lose the Anuvritti which is available here and put them in the Bhasya Adhikara and again repeat all those three. So Pathin, Mathin, Rubukshin, these three words. Of course, the word Pathin is much more common than the other two. And it says Bhasya Ter Lopaha. So Bhasya. So this is the one sutram which is not in the Bhasya Adhikara. The 7188 Bhasya Ter Lopaha. So using 7188, we get rid of the in. So here, but we have to use, so here use 7188. So if you can keep this in mind, the word Pathin is coming in this sutram. So then we lose the in to drop the T portion. The T portion is dropped, and that we get the form. I'm sorry, what did I do? I hit some wrong button. To drop the T, and which is in our case, which is in, and then we get the form. So the in drops will become Pat, E, and we get Pati. So 7188 is a special rule for this one. If you can look at that, it's a little bit difficult to remember, as I said, because it applies to those three, only those three words, the Pathin, Mathin, Revukshin. Okay, so 7188 we got from Pati means Marge, is on the path. English word path is same as Pathin, right? Similar word. So they, and one more adjective of Vidyayoho is Muni Pradishtayoho. This dhatu is dish with a talavya shakara. Dhatu is dish with a talavya shakara. So Pradish is to instruct. So Munina Pradishtayoho. Is there any commentary of that? Look, actually he's very kind to us, because look at that. He gives Muni Pradishtayoho. He has already done the Vigraha Vakyam for you. Kaushikena. So who is the Muni? Is Kaushika Vishwamitrena. So Kaushikena Upadishtayoho. So he's given the Vigraha Vakyam. Within the Vigraha Vakyam he's already made the Muni as Kaushika. So Kaushikena Upadishtayoho. This is the way to learn samasas. Just go through the commentaries and only take the ones which the Vigraha Vakyam is given to you. Just practice those. And then you will get the confidence to do them on your own later on. So Muni Pradishtayoho is Kaushikena Upadishtayoho. So clearly it's a Tritiya Tatpurushaha. Tritiya Tatpurushaha. It's a third case samasa. So which instructed by those two mantras which were instructed by the sage Vishwamitra. Now one quick thing that we need, anybody tell me how did this dhatu dish, which is a talavya shakaranta, how did it end up being in the murdhanya shakaranta? What is going on there? I know Kalpesh knows the rule. Anybody else in the class? Maybe can help me out here. First of all, when you add any pratyaya to a dhatu, you should check whether it can take an idagama and whether it can also do any guna. Now this particular one, this dhatu is anit dhatu, and not only that, it is the pratyaya has a k as an it, so that stops any good pratyaya is kta. Pratyaya is kta. So here we don't have to worry about any of those two things. I need to change this talavya shakara to mudanya shakara. No, Usha, no. Of course, Usha is yes. She knows. Of course, she knows. Yes. Yes, Usha. I'm sorry. I didn't. I can unmute her. What's happening here? I cannot unmute her. Kalpesh, can you unmute Usha ji maybe?
I tried. I'm also not able to do that.
Okay, I guess the unmute is not working, huh?
Unmute somebody else and then, okay, Terry is fine.
Terry is fine. Let me try to unmute Usha ji. Usha ji already gave me the answer on the chat. It's 8 to 36. Thank you, Usha ji. But I'm not able to unmute Usha ji for some reason. Okay. Okay, well, she gave me the answer. It's 8 to 36. Thank you. And the what sutram is that there are, I think, about 7 dhatus, and any dhatu ending in talavya shakara or the mahaprana chakara with the cha, they become the murdhanya shakara jalipadante. Jalipadante. So that's how we get this vrashcha, bhrashcha, srija, mrija, yaja, raja, bhrajascha, sham, shaha. Very important rule 8 to 36. So sandhi rule, we say that these dhatus, vrashcha, bhrashcha, srija, mrija, yaja, raja, bhraja. Like we have like a word like, samrat, a very, very common word like srishtihi, right? So we have all these words coming from this one. But then any dhatu ending in talavya shakara becomes mudhanya shakara jali padante, jali or padante. The dhatu nash becomes nashtaha, dish becomes dishtaha. So now you don't know whether dhatu actually was the talavya shakara to begin with, or whether it's become mudhanya through sandhi or not. So let's give a quick example. So we apply 8 to 36, and 8 to 36 is going to make this into the mudhanya shakara, because the following pratyaya is beginning with the jal letter ta. Then of course after you do the shtuna shtuhu 8441, which I think all of you know, and then it become dishta. Dishta will be the form. Now a similar example is that if you have the word nashta, so similarly nashta, same thing. You can use the same logic, and you can get the form nashta. But if you have a form rishta roma dhananjaya comes in Gita, right? So rishta, but in rishta you already have the dhatu beginning with mudhanya shakara. So now you don't know whether actually this is coming through a sandhi row, or whether it was already there in the dhatu itself. But rish, also gives rishta. So there you don't need the 8 to 36. It already has the mudhanya shakara in the dhatu itself. Okay. So you have to know what the dhatu is within. But here the dhatu happens to be, because a word like disha, dishati, so you have to know some other forms of the dhatu to be able to double check that. Just from the form dishta you cannot tell dhatu was the talavya shakaranta or mudhanya shakaranta. So if we have to check some other, we have to go to dictionary to check that. But this one happens to be talavya shakaranta, so it gives the form muni dishtayoho, qualifying vidyayoho. And that goes connects with the prabhavataha. So it will be muni padishtayoho, balati balayoho, vidyayoho, prabhavataha. In fact, that's what he has done. He has also done the padanvaya for you. Is muni padishtayoho, balati balayoho, vidyayoho, prabhavataha. So his commentary does not only the padacheda, it does padanvaya for you also. And if you don't get all the adjectives, don't worry. You can go on and at least get the main sentence. At least you got the gist of the sentence you got. Now look at the adjectives down here for the Rama Lakshmana. One is the mani. Mani kuttimochitao. What does he say on that? He is given the form mani baddha bhumi sancharochitao. So he is given this form baddha bhumi, mani baddha bhumi. This word kuttima is actually means like a platform or a pavement which is inlaid with something. That meaning is already there in the word kuttima. So kuttima, I think, is kind of to to kind of inlay or to press something inside. Kut also means to crush crush or press something inside. So Kuttima is already has. So that's why it says Baddha Bhumi, Mani Baddha Bhumi. So he's getting that from this Kuttima. So it is a platform or a ground or a like a pavement which is inlaid. Baddha means bound really, but inlaid with gems. And then he's supplied the word Sanchara Uchitau. So they are fit. Uchita is fit. They are fit for walking. They were fit for walking actually on a platform or a pavement which is inlaid with gems. So that is now contrasting them with walking in the forest. So vastutaha mani kuttima uchitau sukhochitau. They are actually fit to be have all the pleasures of life. Mani kuttima. So mani means jewel. So then he makes mani baddha bhumi. So if you so you want to make the vigraha vakyam for it in detail, you do it like this. First make the bracket into mani kuttima as mani baddha bhumi. So you can supply that baddha in between, mani baddha. So you can supply it. So mani bhi baddha is mani baddha. So make it into titiya tatpurushaha, supply the word baddha in between. That will qualify bhumihi. So mani baddha bhumihi. And then make a saptami tatpurushaha by supplying sancharaha. So mani baddha bhumau sancharaha. Mani baddha bhumi sancharaha. So walking on this platform inlaid with jewels. And then then you can make it, mani baddha bhumau sancharaha. So uchitaha yayo hotau. So for those, so this sancharaha is fit for these two of them. So it is this mani baddha sancharaha, mani baddha bhumi sancharaha is fitting. So those who are fit for these. In fact, you don't need that yohotaho. You can just make it like this, because why did I not do that? Because normally it is the uchita, if you make an adjective, it should normally go first in bahuvrihi. See, bahuvrihi generally don't end in adjectives. Remember that. Bahuvrihis do not end in adjectives. They end in nouns most of the time. Like Mahabahu, you make it, make it the Pitambaraha, Pinakapanihi. All these words, they end Sita Prajnasya ka bhasha, Sita Prajnaha. They normally Bahuvrihi ends in a noun. That's why you need Bahuvrihi, to convert this noun ending words into adjectives. Here the word Uchita is already one who's fit. So Uchita is one who's fit, so this is Bahuvrihi will be wrong for this, because the word Uchita is already qualifying somebody who is fit. Somebody who is fit is probably the right word for that. So then we can make it mani baddha bhumi sancharasya uchitau. So they are fit for that. They are fit for this sancharasya uchitau. I think that probably will do that, because you have to make some kind of tatpurusha out of this, because we have the uttar pradhanaha. Bahuvri has to be anyapada pradhanaha. Here we have uttar pada already an adjective, so we can make it uttar pradhanaha. Then only question comes to what kind of tatpura should we make? So those who are fit for that, So we can also make it mani baddha bhumi sanchare uchita sancharasya uchita probably will be better. Anyway, it has to be made in tatpurusha. It's not a bahuvrihi. Okay, but he has not given that vigraha vakyam, because this is a simple thing which we should understand. For us. It will not be Panchami, it will not be Tritiya, because, probably Shashti probably will be fine. Okay, then one more adjective, then comes a simile. Matra Parshva Parivartinau Iva. So Matra, let's see what he gives for that. Is Matra Samipa Vartina Iva is all he gives. Because Parshva literally means side. Side means he means close to. So Matrinam. So Parshve Parivartinau Iva. So Parivartin Pratipadikam. Dhatu is Vrit. Dhatu Vrit. We can add the Pratyaya Nini to make it Vartin. So one who, so Parivartinau. And this I think you can use this Sutram 3278 to make it supya jato ninistachilye. So when you have any sup pratyaya, doesn't have to be karma. When you have any in a compound, when you have this any word in any case as the prior member, then we can make it into we can use pratyaya nini to one who does that habitually. So it's 3278. So 3278 gives very, very famous sutram. Supya jato ninistachilye. So habitually, so we have the matranam parshveshu, you can say. So parivartante tachilyena, or parivartantaha, I should say, because so because parivartete, I should say, because dual form, right? Parivartete tachilyena iti matra parshva parivartinau. So you can make it. If you want to make the vigraha vakyam for this, you can take the matra. So make matra parshva from that compound first. Make it matra parshva, and then you can probably make it into a ending sup matra parshveshu. So on the side means samipe. Or you can also make it into ni, make it singular also, maybe probably that also might work, singular or make it plural, and then you make the dhatu pari plus vrit, and then you add this pratyaya nini, vrit and then nini, pari vrit plus nini, and nini means anubandha lope, only in remains behind. So this will do the Upada guna by 7386. You can do the Puganta Lagupatasya cha gunaha, make it vartin. So matra parshva parivartin, and then you decline it dual matra parshva parivartinau. So we use the 3-2. The one that we're using here is this 3278. 3278. I think that should work for us. 3278, and then you apply this Angakaram 7386. Okay, so then I think, is that done? I think we're done with this verse. So only thing that he quotes is the Ramayana shloka he quotes. In Balakande, the shloka in Ramayana, which is number 23, Adhyay 18, is Krit Pipase Nate Rama Bhavishyete Narottama. So, He Rama, He Narottama, Tava means for you, there shall be no Krit Pipase, there will be no hunger or thirst for you. So Krit Pipase. Krit Pipase is going to be, Pipasa is a feminine form. So Pipasa is like Sitava Shabda, Pipasa, Pipase, Pipasaha. So Krit Pipase is the feminine nominative dual form. So He Rama, He Narottama, Tava, for you, Krit Pipase na bhavishyete. So it means that this is interesting form in some. Look at this form now. In English, you will say what? O Rama, you shall not have hunger or thirst. The word, there is no word have in Sanskritam. So what they do is use a Shashti form. Is that hunger and thirst for you will not be there. Or your hunger and thirst will not be there. Means you will not have hunger or thirst. So Kshut Pipase Tava na Bhavishyet. Remember this form. So when you say, I have a book, say Mama Pustakam Vartate. Mama Pustakam Asti. There's no word to have as such. You use a Shashti form, then you use As or Bu or something to make it to the word, for the verb have. Okay? And then he says, Balam Ati Balam Chaiva Patataha Pati Raghava. So this Patataha is going to be the, what is Patataha? Anybody in the class? What form is Patataha and what are the choices here? The Ramayana. What is the form Patataha? Yes, Kartik, chance. Yes. Yes, Kartik. Yes, Kartik?
It's Latlakara Dvivachana.
Yeah, but that's not the one
Parasmapada.
here. That's not the one. It could be, but then we need a dual subject, right?
Okay.
And here he's only talking to He Rama or He Narottama. So Kartika, that could have been a choice. Patataha. Rama Lakshmana Patataha. And not only that, the other point of Kartik is that we already have a verb bhavishyate. So the dual form can only be pipas, and it's not like the hunger and thirst are chanting the mantra, right? So we need Rama Lakshmana to chant the mantra, not the hunger and thirst. So the dual form is, I think there is, but that's the one choice.
Yes,
Lat lakara, I'm sorry?
It's no. Yeah.
I think Terry has the answer, I think. Yes, Terry, what's the answer? Terry, you have it? No.
I think it's a patat bahuvachana.
Yes, it's patat pradibadikam, correct. Patat pradibadikam, I think Mushaji also gave the answer.
Shatrupati?
Oh, no. See, Ushaji will not be nishtha, because nishtha will be patita. Nishtha will be patitam. So it's not a past participle, it's a present participle, patat. So tava patataha. So even as you're reading, while you're reading these two mantras, so balam ati balam cha patataha tava, he Rama. So as you are, or when you are chanting these two mantras on the way, he Raghava, he Rama, he Narottama, there shall be no hunger or thirst for you, is what it says. So patataha is a masculine genitive singular form of patat pradipodikam, which is a Shatru Pratyaya, as Kalpeji said. It is a present participle form. It goes with te. So te patataha. So it goes with this is Shashti Ekavachanam. Means while you're doing this, for you who is chanting this, there shall be no. So let me put that in a document maybe. So in the Ramayana Shlokaha, the word, so there was a choice, as Kartik said, to make it into a dual latlakara form, but we do not have the proper meaning then. So patataha is a masculine genitive singular of patat pratipadikam, which is a present participle form. Patat pratipadikam of patat. Okay, so that I think completes. Let's go to who wants to do a translation for me now? Translation. Bhashantarasya. Samadhanam. Who wants to do? I think Vasu can do. Terry can do it. Anup, are you there? Maybe Anup can do it. Vasu, okay, Vasu will do it. Let's do Vasu. Okay. So through the power.
Prabhavato.
Prabhavataha. This ending thus stands for this. Like
yes.
A Panchami kind of. It's a Prabhavat.
Yeah.
Prabhavena. So through the power, very common expression, of the spells.
Balati balayoho.
So it will be vidyayoho.
Vidyayoho.
So of the spells, because the commentary says mantrayoho, of the spells. Now of course bala and atibala is, as you said, bala atibalayoho. Then taught them by the sage. Them probably is not there. Taught by the sage.
Muni pratishtayo.
Muni pradishtayoho. They, what is they?
Tau.
And not is
Na.
And languish.
Mamlatuhu.
Mamlatuhu. Now on the way is
Pati.
As though.
Iva.
They paced is oh, now this is an interesting thing now. Now we change the translation here now.
Parivartina.
Yeah, they pace is parivartina, but the accustomed crystal floor by their mother's side. Ooh. So now they change it slightly now, because we were taking the Iva only for this fellow over here. Actually, if you look at what Malinatha has done, he has actually done it because he pushes right in the beginning. So look at the way he has done that, Is he has put mani kuttimo chitau, tau, namamlatuhu. Then at the end he puts the matra parsha parivartina. So I think this one, I would decide it differently. Because the question here is that, is this mani kuttimo chitau part of the upama or not? I probably don't think so, because, this is connecting with the first part, because, again, the commentary supports that. Is these two who are fit for walking on these, platforms inlaid with gems, they did not did not feel fatigued on the way by the efficacy of these two mantras, as if they were wandering around close to their mothers. So I think this part is not a part of the simile, and the commentary supports that also. So I think we need to change this a little bit. But that's the part. That's his opinion, I guess. So he has made it like that. So let's see. So what I would do is that through the power of this Balana Bilan, they after they I would put this. They who were accustomed to, walking on these crystal floors, did not languish. Even they, when you think of it, even they who were accustomed to this luxury, they did not languish on the way through the power of these two mantras, as though, and then make it, they were, as you said, paste is the parivartina, and by their mothers is matra, and side is parshva. So now you see, sometimes translation will not exactly match your expectations,
Yeah.
and they can be different. Yes.
The beauty of this simile I thought was that the children who are used to walking on the jewel-studded floors alongside the mother, they were equally prancing around cheerfully alongside the rishi.
Correct, but that's because of the power of two mantras. That's what.
Well, because of the power of two mantras, even though they were walking on the forest grounds.
Correct. But the thing is that the question is that does this belong to the simile or not? Mani Kuttimu, and I don't think it does. This is not a part of the simile. This goes in the main sentence, and I think because it goes in the main sentence because of the fact that even though they were used to all these luxuries, so they were kind of, in a way, so to speak, spoiled. Even they did not feel tired on the way because of these two mantras. So that completes that sentence. And then you have the iva only with the last part. So that probably would make better sense. And then the commentary makes, that's done that way. But anyway, so you see sometimes you have these different points of view that you have to accommodate. So, okay. So thank you. Let's go to the next one. Also, is I think pretty straightforward shloka. Is Puravritta Kachitaihi Puravidaha Sanujaha Pitru Sakhasya Raghavaha Ujyamana Iva Vahanochitaha. Again the word Uchitaha. Vahanochitaha Padacharam Api Na Jabhavayata. So Puravritta Kachitaihi Puravidaha Sanujaha Pitru Sakhasya Raghavaha Ujyamana Iva Vahanochitaha Padacharam Api Na Vyabhavayata. So what is the verb? I think Terry can give us the verb here. So what is the verb here, Terry, in this shloka?
Vyabhavayata.
Vyabhavayata. What form is that?
Vyabhavayata, that's lung.
Lang lakara, very good.
Lung lakara.
Third person
Lakara.
singular.
Third person
What is the dhatu there?
Bhava.
Dhatu actually is bhu in the causative.
Bhu.
Causative
Oh yeah,
form.
bhu, of course, bhu, yeah.
Because if you had bhu, it would become abhavat. But here it is bhavayata.
Bhavayata.
What has been done here is that you first has made a causative form, the pratyaya nich has been added to make it the form bhavi. Make it the form bhavi. And then to that he has made the lang laka. So let's do it very quickly here. So this is so now we are down to, what's the verse number here? I'll put in the document here. Verse number 10. So now in verse 10, the vyabhava, of course the va is in the v is in upasarga. So verse number 10. So upasarga, we had upasarga v, and then what we really have is the dhatu bhavi, which has been formed by adding this bhu plus nich has been formed. So nich means only the e has been there. So bhu plus nich has, now we have done the achoniti vriddhi. So I'll put the sutta number here, I think 72115, and then you had done the echo yavayavaha. So became bhau and became bhavi. So echo yavayavaha. So after that process, we got the form bhavi. And then to bhavi has been added the lung lakara, as Jerry correctly said. Lung has been added there. So and then to lung we bring the pratyaya tip. So just like the form abhavat, I guess we won't go through all the rules, but the shap pratyaya comes in between kartari shap. That does the guna, the bhavi to become bhave. Maybe let's put the quick steps here. And we also get the adagama by lung 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 shuradattaha. So we plus the adagama comes here. And then we get this the same bhavi plus the shap comes in here. That shap does the guna to bhavi becomes bhave. Then you again do hoyavaya sandhi, and the tip pratyaya comes in. Actually, the tip comes in first. Remember that the shap cannot come until tip comes in there. That's only sarvadhatuke. The kartari shap sarvadhatuke. So we have to bring the tip pratyaya first, then make it. Then only the shap can come in. And in these lakaras which have this n as an it, that makes this ending e drop, itascha. So we'll put down some numbers here. So the first we probably want to apply is this 3-4 sutra called itascha. Itascha. So when you have this n as a marker in the lakara, then this ending e drops. Itascha sutram. So let's give me the number for itascha. Will be in 3.4 in the lasya adhikara. As I mentioned to you earlier in the class, look at these rules in 3.4 and apply them first. So 3 for 100. 3 for 100 will drop that. And then we did the 6168 kartari shap. And then we want to make it into bhave by the applying the sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho, and we're going to make it into bhave, and then hoyavaya sandhi. So that should do it for us. So bhavi becomes bhave. I went a little bit fast because I think most of you know this form. So make it bhave. So here we applied the sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho. So 7 sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho. 7384. Again hoyavaya between the a and the become bhavaya. Now one thing I'd like to point out to you, very simple thing, even if you don't want to look at all these rules, is that what was the tip off in this form to make it causative? And that was this aya. Because when this nich comes, it takes guna, becomes a, and then the shap follow becomes aya. So that if you see that aya in the form there, that should tip you off that this is probably going to be a causative form. Okay. Just remember this aya, like pathayati, so pathayati, aya, again the aya is there, shravayati, make somebody hear, like gamayati, asatoma sadgamaya, so gamaya, that again that aya. If you see the aya, and this is not 100% guaranteed, but if you see that word aya in a tinganta form, you can probably start suspecting that this might be a causative form. And how that aya come? Because the nich comes, takes guna, and through hoyavaya sandhi with the shap, it becomes aya, bhavayata. Now bhu is to be, but bhavayati has different meanings. Bhavayati means something to cause to be. But here it really means also to understand. It can also mean to kind of, maybe it has different meanings. So bhavayati means to to understand. Does he give any meaning here? So bhavayati, vyabhavayata. Let's see what he says. Is there any commentary on that? Nyatavan. Thank you. To know. He did not notice. Nyatavan. He did not notice. To understand. So even the bhu is to be. So bhavayati means also means to nourish, to support also maybe. So bhavayati. Te deva bhavayantu vaha. Bhagavad Gita. Which adhyaya is that, Gita?
Oh, the second adhyaya.
I think it's third adhyaya. Te deva bhavayantu vaha. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Shreyas pramavapsyata. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva. Right?
Yeah.
That's not second adhyaya. That's third adhyaya.
Yeah, third, yeah.
But good guess. So Terry is coming through strong today. So the third adhyaya, the form bhavayati, is to support mutually. Te deva bhavayantu vaha. Parasparam bhavayantaha. Shreyas pramavapsyata. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva. Sahayajna praja svishtva purovacha prajapatihi. Here it is. Here's the form bhavayata. Devan bhavayata, yuyam bhavayata anena. So you support the gods through these sacrifices. Te deva bhavayantu vaha. And let them support you in turn. Parasparam bhavayantaha. So supporting mutually. Shreyas pramavapsyata. All of you should obtain supreme good, what is good for you. All of you will do well by this mutual support between. So Devan Yuyam Devan Anena means that, this by this Yajnena Bhavayata, Te Deva Vaha Yushman Bhavayantu. Parasparam Bhavayantu. So anyway, the form Bhava, you see the Aya coming over here. So this is all these causative forms, okay? Okay, so but it means to support, to nourish, to make, to be, but it means to understand also. All right, so who's the subject of that theory? Maybe we can finish this. Okay. Yeah, third adhyaya. Thank you. Usha ji had the answer. Third adhyaya. Thank you. I cannot unmute Usha ji. Something wrong with her mic. Okay. Anyway, she had. Yeah. Thank you, Usha ji. I got the answer. So what's the subject for that theory now? You need a third person singular. So it's Raghavaha. So Raghavaha na vyabhavayata. So Rama did not notice. Rama did not notice. And he has some adjectives going on here. He has this Sanujaha. Anujaha is his younger brother. This is a Bahuvrihi compound. Anujena saha vartate iti Sanujaha. So Raghavaha with his young one. In fact, the same shloka we just saw right now in the Gita, it had this, yes. Sahayajnya praja srishtva. Sahayajnyaha prajaha. So yajnaihi saha vartante iti sahayajnyaha prajaha. So the sahayajnya prajaha, sometimes the saha can remain saha, or it can become sa optionally. And so I think the sutram is Vopasishajanasya. In Ashtadhyayi, the entire 6.3 pada of Ashtadhyayi talks about the changes which happen to the Purva pada. Uttara pade sati. When Uttara pada is there, what happens to the Purva pada? Oh, so when you want any of these changes to be made the left-hand side of a compound, look at 6.3. The very first shloka says, sutra says, Uttara pade, Alug Uttara pade. This Uttara pade anuvritti goes through 6.3. And there you have sutram which says, Vopasajanasya. So Vopasajanasya says that this Va upasajanasya. And that would say that this see the Sahasya Saha. From 6378, Panini starts this thing of Sahasya Saha Sanyayam. The Saha becomes Sa. And the more important one is Va Upasajanasya. See, in Upasajana is a technical term in compounds. What it means is that Prathamanidishtam Samasa Upasajanam. So Prathamanidishtam Samasa Upasajanam. In the Samasa Vidhayaka Sutram, that which is the Prathama Vibhakti in the Sutram gets the term Upasajana. And that comes in 1.2. I think it's 1 to like 40 something. Samasa, Prathamanidishtam Samasa Upasarjanam. So we have, 1, 2. It's a Sanya Sutram. Come in 1, 2. Should be somewhere here. Yeah, Prathamanidishtam Samasa Upasarjanam. In a Bahuvrihi, what happens is that a Sutram of Bahuvrihis is, to give you in very short, is Anekamanya Padarthe. Anekamanya Padarthe. And that in general, everything in Bahuvrihi is Upasarjanam. In the Bahuvrihi is generally speaking, okay, everything, every term in Bahuvrihi, because the Sutram says Anekam. Anekam Anya Padarthe. So that one is in the Anekam Anya Padarthe. It's a general rule for Bahuvris, okay. So the one that we are doing is Tena Sahati Tulya Yoge. Tena Sahati Tulya Yoge. That's the one that we are using right now. Special rule is being used. This 2228 is being used. So let me put in the document. So Sanujaha. So in forming Sanujaha, we are actually using this. So we are trying to form the form Sanujaha. So here we have these two padas, which is the Saha and Anuja. So we have Saha and Anuja. Now that Saha became, so we have to Anuja. And I'm actually skipping some steps here, because actually you should bring the sup ending and drop them afterward, but we're skipping those steps. So Saha plus Anuja. And the sutram which we used was this Tena Sahiti Tulya Yoga. So 2228 was used, 2228. And then after that we used the, to make the Saha into Sa, we used that sutram in 6.3. So this is the brief synopsis of this one. Didn't give you all the steps, but these are the main ones that you need. 6.3 Vopasajanasya 6.3.82. So 6.3.82 change the saha, and it's an optional row. It's an optional row, so it may have.
Satish, is it 6378?
Then let me check the number. 1 second. 78. No, it is this one. Vopasajanasya.
Okay. Thank you.
Because Upasajanasya. 6382 is that one. So it becomes so sanujaha. So anujena saha vartate. So tena saha tulya yoga. That's sutram says. Tena saha tulya yoga. When they go together in participate in some action, then this Bahuvri can be formed with the word saha. It can be formed. And then the saha changed to sa optionally. So it becomes sanujaha. And of course, when you do the akasami dirgha, so just to give you a word of caution, by the way, that even samana changes to sa sometimes. The word samana also changes to sa. So if you see sa in a compound, don't jump to computer. It has to be saha. Say savaranaha when you say. Savaranaha is samana varanaha, sarupaha, samana rupam. So don't think only saha becomes sa, because samana also becomes sa sometimes, and those rules also come in this one. So just to give you, it comes I think a little bit later. Vopasajanasya sahasya sadri samasaha. I think let's see, samanasya also will come somewhere here. It all has to be in this pada only. They all these sutram, they come in this sahasya saha ditya vibhave samanasya. So they from 84 starts samanasya. So it comes, let's see words sarupaha, sagotra, sanava, sanabi. All these are coming in this 6385. So even from 6384 onwards, so samana also can become, so 6384 onwards talk about, which we don't have here, but just want to mention it to you on the side, etc. Change. They change samana. Again, please go through this document, and if you can find any typos in this later on, please correct them. I won't try to go through it myself, but I'll give you the link. Okay, so let's go back to shloka now. Let's see what we have left over there. So sanujaha, raghavaha. Then what is the object of this chari vyabhavayata? What is the object of that? Is
Sorry,
padachara.
I don't have the document in front of me.
Can you see it now? You should be able to see it now.
Okay, there we go.
It has to be Dvitiya Ekavachanam, right? So it has to be Dvitiya.
Padacharam.
So Padacharam.
Padacharam, yeah.
So Padacharam.
Okay.
So Padayoho Charam, I think probably will be right. So Charam Dhatu Char. So Chara has movement. So Char is to move or to walk around. Char also might mean to graze also, by the way. But here it means to move. So the movement of the feet are moving, so basically the walk. Simply Padacharam means simply walking. It simply means walking, okay. Really you say, Padayoho Charam, you can say Charaha means, and then we can make it simply means walking. So he didn't even notice the walking. Why did not notice that? Because of, it says, here we have Titya Vibhakti here. Purva Vritta Kathitaihi. Purva Vritta Kathitaihi. Because of these narrations of historical events. Purva is, of course, Puram is an avya. Puram is prior. Vritta is happening. Vritta is to exist, to be, to move around also. But Vrittam is like, means like events. So on account of the narration of prior events, like historical accounts, you can say, and whose narrations is, here it is, Pitru Sakhasya Puravidaha. So Pitru Sakhasya Puravidaha, they are both in Shashti Ekavachanam. So they're going to be due to or on account of the narration of prior of historical accounts of Vishwamitra, who was his father's friend, means Rama's father's friend. and who was a knower of history. Pura is in an avyaya. Okay, here's a question. Where does Pura come in Gita?
Pura proktop mayanaga. That's
Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam na karmanam anarambha nishkarma purushtati. Where is that? In fact, we just had it here also, by the way. Here it is. Didn't we have Pura over here? Here it is. Purovacha. So Pura Uvacha, Purovacha. Pura means in days of old. So when Prajapati created being in old time, in whatever, at that time Pura Uvacha, Sushtva Pura Uvacha, he old. But the one that I think Terry is pointing out to us is, I think, the third Adhyaya. Terry, I'm impressed with your Gita knowledge. Very strong, very good, very good. It is the, I came back to the same Adhyaya. It was in the same Adhyaya.
Is it the third or is it the fourth? Visvato.
The location, the Vizhanishta, here it is. Third Adhyaya, 3.3, how about that? 3.3. Pura Prokta Mayanagha. Pura Prokta Mayanagha. So Pura is again in Avyaya, is that location Dvividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Anagha. So hey Anagha, these twofold paths were taught by me in the days of old, this Nishtha. So I think it might be in the fourth Adhyaya also, maybe. Let me try. I think in the beginning of the fourth Adhyaya, it might come Pura also.
I was thinking when he talks about Visvato, Visvata and so forth.
Yes, that's the one. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm thinking of. Proktavan evam parampara praptam apam bharto janma param. Okay, maybe it's not here. It might be here somewhere, but at least we found two of them. Third Adhyaya. That Pura might be here also, but it because he says I gave this knowledge to Vivaswan and so on and so forth. Okay, I guess it's not here. Okay. But anyway, so Pura is an Avyaya.
So Puratanaha. Puratanam.
So Puratana is there. Pura itself is not
Puratanaha, yeah.
Good. Now what is the Pradipattam here, Terry? What's the Vibhakti of Pura Vidaha? Again, when you have things which are in Samanadhikaranam, you can always get your help. Because see, Pitru Sakhasya Pura Vidaha. Those two are in Samanadhikaranam, they refer to the same person, Vishwamitrasya. So that tells you that Pitru Sakhasya, of course, you know the Vibhakti is Shashti Ekvachanam. So then Pura Vidaha must be Shashti Ekvachanam. Pura Vidaha. And look at and if you want, look at the commentary. Look at the commentary. Pura Vidaha Purva Vrittabhijñasya. He's going to use the same Vibhakti in the commentary. He's now changed the Vibhakti. So if you don't know the Vibhakti of Pura Vidaha, you look at the commentary and he says Purva Vrittabhijñasya. So here itself he has. And he's also to the Padanvaya he has done for you very kindly. So Pura Vidaha Pitru Sakasya Munehe. So Pitru Sakasya Munehe Vrittabhijñasya all Shashti Ekavachanam. And become Pura Vid. So Pratipadi must be Pura Vid. Pura Vid. Pura Vid. So Pura Vetti iti Pura Vid. One who knows history, one who knows the historical accounts. So now this Pratyaya is probably going to be quip. This Pratyaya quip is really like a blanket Pratyaya which is authorized by Panini. Sutram, I think it's Anyabhyupi Drishyate, means whether for any dhatu, with Upapada, without Upapada, Vede Bhashayamapi, even in Vedas and even in the Veda and in Bhashayamapi, you can use quip may be used. Now this doesn't mean you should just make up your own forms, but you can see these forms which are used by the scholars. You can justify it. So quip doesn't require any of the sutram because the anyabhyopi drishyate. This is Panini's way of saying that there are too many to enumerate. And by this sutram comes in Ashtadhyayi in a few different places. We watch out for this sutram. This anyabhyopi drishyate comes in 3.2, in 3.3, and anyabhyopi drishyante also is there, 3.275. Anyeshapi drishyante also is there. It comes to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sutras which sound very similar. So anyebhyo drishyate, anyebhyo drishyate, anyesham drishyante. The one that we want is, I think, 3-2. So in 3-2, let's go there. 3-2 is, let's see, 3-2, I'm sorry. 3-2, the pratyaya is quip is a zero pratyaya. You add a zero, but what that does is it converts the verbal root into a pratipadikam. It converts the verb in the kartri arte, one who knows. So quipcha. So quipcha, I'm sorry. Quipcha, you can use word quipcha. So 3-2-76. Quipcha. What does it say? Sarva dhatu. Look at this one. Sarva dhatu bhyaha. Sopapadebhyaha means with upapadas. Also nirupapadebhyascha. So nirupapadebhyascha without upapadas. So with or without upapada. Chandasi bhashayamcha. It doesn't get any better than this, by the way. It doesn't get any better than this. Because you have all dhatus with upapadas, without upapadas, in the Veda, in bhashayam api, kip pratyaya bhavati. So it gives a very, very, very simple statement. So that's why we can, of course there are some other specific sutras, but this one is, this one can be used very freely. So 3-2-76, excuse me. So the quip is only going to be a zero pratyaya. So we have the pura is an obvious, so it will not take any. So it's actually a samasa. So pura with. Now we don't have to make. We could have made a samasa as veti iti with. We could have done in that way, or you can make also an upapada samasa also. So here you have a choice, because that vritti clearly said you may have an upapada, you also may not have it. So we can make an upapada samasa. So we can pura plus with, plus make it into a quip, and the quip is what they call is sarvopahar lopaha. Sarvapahar lopaha. Sarva apahara means you remove everything goes away. Aparu is to take away. Sarvapahara lopaha. So quip becomes zero by halantyam, the pa is an it, the e is upadeshajana it, the ka is lashakvatadhyate. All these rules come in the section from 132, I think it's 138. All of them come there, except the last tool, which is verapruktasya. If the va of vi remains behind alone, then it also goes away. If the va of that vi remains behind alone, aprukta, then that also goes away. And that rules comes in 6.1. That's, we need this 6.1 to remove the final, I think it's 6167, I think it is. It is the Verapruktasya. So vehe apruktasya. So the V goes away if it is aprukta ekal pratyaha. So that is 6167 finally, even that goes away, and we get the form pura vid. So it's pura vidaha is shashti ekavachanam of pura vid. So pura vidaha. And you can look around, and that connects with kathitaihi. Now, one important question, this is an important question, grammatical question here, is that, see, normally when you have this pratyaya called this kta, like pachitam, likitam, bhuktam, uktam, all kinds of things, ramitam. Now they are normally will require a subject in the tritiya. Maya pustakam patitam, krishnena shastram uktam, So arjunena prashnaha prishtaha. But now here we have a shashti going on. What is going on here? Pitru sakhasya kathitaihi. Doesn't say pitru sakhena kathitaihi. Now why is that? Anybody in the class can tell me this. Is how come we have a shashti here? I mean, you should say ramena uktam. You don't say ramasya uktam. So why is that happening here? Terry go ahead, Terry. Terry, you go ahead. You have an answer? Terry has his hand up, but I guess he's not answering. Okay, anybody else?
Is it anything to do with kartu karmano kruti?
Kartu karmano kruti could have, but where is the kartu vachaka shabda here? So, kathitam is not kartu. So actually that's a good point that Kalpesh is making that. But then how is this kathitam becoming the karma now? So what this is really is that this is not an adjective. This is a noun. So neuter nouns can also be formed by using this napumsake bhavektaha. So you have to watch out for that. is that this is created, when you say Ramena Uktam or Maya Patitam, so that all those are adjectives to somebody else. But this is now a neuter noun, is Kathitam. Let's say Balakasya Hasitam, Tasyaha Jalpitam. So these create neuter nouns, and when those come, then you have to use Shashti Bhakti with them. So those are his narrations. It's not like narrated by him, but his narrations. So this is the form called narration and not narrated. So Kathitam here is a neuter noun, meaning narrations. Like it could have been Kathanaihi also. So this Kathita has the same meaning as Kathanaihi. And the other one which we normally are used to, that creates an adjective, means narrated. So let me just put it on the document here. So this Kathitam which we are talking about here is Kathitam is a neuter noun. By using the sutram, I think it is 114. Napumsake bhavektaha. Napumsake bhavektaha. It means narrations. And then we'll go to Kalpesh's point, how to get the vibhakti from the tasya. So 3, 3. After this Triyam Adhikara is finished, starts Napumsake bhavektaha. I think 33114, I think. Yeah, 33114. Napumsake bhavektaha. By 33114. It means narration. Means narration. Meaning narration and not narrated. And not the adjective narrated. So you have to watch out for this. And that's the tip-off. Is when you see the Shashti coming instead of the Tritiya coming, which you expect, then that will tell you that this is the going to be most likely this Napumsake bhavektaha. Sometime in the commentary, let's see what Malinatha says. Does he say anything? He might give us a hint also, because see, look what he does. Pura vritta kathabhihi. See what he has done here? Because what he has done is that he has given another form in the bhavarthe. See, katha is a feminine noun. It's a feminine noun, but it's a feminine noun. It's not an adjective. So what he did for us is that sometimes the commentary will be even more kind. He might say bhavektaha. He might even just say bhave. Or he might be saying napumsake bhavektaha. So that you can also expect that once in a while. But here, Malinatha has converted this into a feminine noun in the same sense of bhave. So katha is also is a bhavartha, and that is coming in the feminine. So that he's telling you that this is not an adjective. And besides that, if you look at the shloka, there is no adjective for this. It's not adjective or anything else. It's not adjective or anything else. But sometimes you can supply an adjective, but still this shashti cannot be justified then. Because the shashti would not be able to justify that. He'll look at tritiya for that then. So yes, pura vritta kathabhihi is what he's saying. Now, so that is the napumsake bhavektaha, and the shashti was the tip-off for that. So when you see this kathita, don't just jump to the adjective meaning. It may be a neuter noun, much less common, much less common, but it is definitely once in a while it crops up. And it has to be napumsaka linga, by the way. That's another thing. If it is not napumsakam, then don't worry about it. It cannot be this one. It has to be a neuter noun only. So if it's not neuter, then forget about it. You don't need. We say kathita. If you have only kathita, it cannot be. It is not going to be napumsake bhavekta. It's not neuter form. So just to also refresh your memory, the one that we normally use is this sutra called nishtha. In the bhutarthe, the sutra called nishtha. That's the one which we normally use to get the, Ramena Uktam, Krishnena Adishtam. In fact, in the prior shloka, we just had that right here. The prior shloka, what did we have? We had this Muni Pradishta Yoho. So look at this one. This is an adjective to the Vidya Yoho. So this is not a neuter noun because it's qualifying Vidya Yoho. Right? And look at the Vigraha Vakyam. It says Kaushikena Munina Upadishta Yoho. So this is the usual one which we use the adjectival form by the sutra called Nishtha. And Nishtha will come here in this Bhute Adhika, I think probably 1 or 2 or something. The sutra called Nishtha. This Nishtha. That's not the one that we have here. So it is not 3, 2, 1 or 2 that we are having here. I just want to point that out. Not the adjective Nishtha by 3, 2, 1 or 2. Okay, so let's come to Kalpesh's point. Let's go to the Karaka section, and then how does this Nishtha, where does Swami say that we have to use this, the Shashti Bhakti with this one? And I think there is sutram called, I think the Vartikam for this, is Tasya cha Vartamane, and that is a Vartikam. Look at this 2.367. So this 2.367 has a Vartikam on that. And so let me just put here. So sixth case is by the, we're running out of time, is by the Vart, but this is an important point grammatically in this shloka. In this shloka, this is the important point. So Vartikam on, I think it's 2.368, 67. Okay, let's go there for a second. Let's see what we find over there. So 2.367 is, and even if you don't know the Vartikam, it's okay. The moment you saw the Shashti, you should have suspected this is not the usual one. If you just remember that much only. If you don't see the Tritya Vibhakti with this what looks like a past participle form, then you have to investigate. Tasya cha Vartamane. In that there is a Vartikam which says that, it says here, Napumsake bhave upasankhyanam. So Katyayana or the Vyakshyanam or Mahabhashyam says, Napumsake bhave upasankhyanam. See, Chhatrasya hasitam. The boys laugh, the students laugh. Mayurasya nrittam. Kokilasya vyahritam. The singing of the cuckoo. So this is what we have right here in this shloka over here. It says the Pitrusakhasya kachitaihi. Now, Pitrusakha, what's happening over here? Because you have the Pradipadikam Sakhi. Sakhi has become Sakha. I think we had it before. For this, you go to the end of 5.4. Is all of what's called a Samasanta Pratyaya. Samasanta Pratyaya, end of 5.4. So something has made Sakhi into Sakha. And the sutram is there which says that the Raja has Sakhibhyashtach. So the Rajan, Ahan, and the word Sakhi. These take the Pratyaya touch, Raja Sakhibhyashtach. I think it's in a Tatpurusha Samasa only. And comes in Gita in the very first page of Gita. Kashi Rajascha Viryavan. So end of 5.4. We talked about 6.3. In 6.3, all the rules talk about what to do to the left-hand side in the Samasa, the Purapade. So Purapada Karyani, you go to 6.3. But when you want to do the Padanta, the Samasanta Pratyaya, Samasanta Karyani, then you come to this 5.4, which says the Samasantaha starts from, I think, 5.4, like 68, and there's sutram called Raja Sakhibhyashtach, and Tatpurusha. Okay, here it is. I think in Tatpurusha is starting from there. So if you have Tatpurusha Samasa, and then you have this either Rajan or Rahan or Sakhi, and it comes in Bhagavad Gita, in the very first page of Bhagavad Gita, Kashi Rajascha Viryavan. Duryodhana is enumerating all his warriors. Kashi Raja. Because it should become Kashi Raja otherwise. So that did not become Kashi Raja. So that means that something is going on. So it is coming in here, Tatpurusha Samasa. So now who can complete this form for me quickly? We have this form Pitr. So it's a simple Shashti Tatpurushaha. Any commentary on that? He says Munehe, no commentary. He's just telling you who it's qualifying. So Pitr plus Nyas. So he's his friend, he's his father's friend. So we would just simply make the word Pitr, make a Shashti out of that, take it as a Nyas, the most common samasa in the whole language, and then we have the words Sakhi plus Su, and as usual we drop the Su Pratyayas by the Supo Dhatu Pradipadikayoho 2471. We'll use to drop these affixes inside the Pradipadikam to drop the Nyas and Su, and then we have to put this Pratyaya touch. This touch is going to come in. Then what happens? Anybody can tell me now the remaining part of this? See, here also when you have this, remember this, when we say this, which we were talking about in earlier class, this Yachibham. This Yachibham.
Yasyati cha.
Yasyati cha, thank you. So what happens is that when I said the pratyaya suadi, the suadis are not only those 21 affixes that we are used to decline nouns. They include all the feminine affixes and all the tadita affixes, including up to the samasanta, end of 5.4. So the su-au-jas, which starts from 412, that suadi pratyayas, they go all the way to end of 5th adhyaya. So this su-au-jas amount, 412, goes all the way to end of 5th adhyaya called swadi pratyaya, su-adi, su, etc. And then we have 1418, which says yachibham, swadishva suranamasthane. Pratyaya begin with either a ach or the yakara. So by 1418, we get the bhasanya. And then as Kalpesh correctly said, that we have to do the yasyaticha. So we let me put that over here. So we have pitru plus sakhi plus touch. So this we all removed these by the 2471, and instead we're going to get the pratyaya touch in here now. And in the touch only the a remains, anubandha lope a, of chutu halantyam. And then we apply 1418 to get the bhasanya. Guess it becomes and then finally we have to use 64148. Yes, it is. What does 64148 say? If you have a anga which is bha, first of all, should be ending in avarna or ivarna. So avarnantasya, ivarnantasya cha, bhasanyakasya angasya lopasyat. Followed by what? Tadhite ikare cha pare. The pratyaya form should be a tadhita or the long e. We don't have long e right now. We have the pratyaya a. Now tadhita also starts from 4176. Starts tadhita aha. This pratyaya touch is not only it is a pratyaya, it is also a swadi, it is also tadhita pratyaya. So that also is required. So then all that being satisfied, so from tadhita has start from 4176 to end of 5.4. So this touch pratyaya is included in that. So by 64148, so this see this tadhita adhikara starts. So 64148 again requires what? A bhasanya for the anga, requires for the angam, requires avarnanta or ivarnanta, followed by pratyaya which is tadhite or ikare cha pare, anga lopasya, alontyasya. So this one drops the e, and then we get pitrisakha. Pitrisakha is the final form. But that's what you should have looked up when you see this ending, something going on here. Go to 5.4 and see if you can find something there. Okay. I think we have a couple of last things here. Is vahano chitaha, same as the last shloka. So it says that one is fit for going in a car. So he was actually used to going in a car, accustomed to or fit for going in a car. So vahano chitaha, no commentary there. And then finally ujyamana is the last thing. Ujyamana iva. So ujyamana is, what does it say? Ujyamana is vahanena prapyamana iva. And he is very kind to us. He said, oh, Karthik has a question. Yes, Karthik.
Satish, I just wanted to know what is the dhatu of uchita?
Uchita. What could the dhatu be? Could it be dhatu vach? What should become ukta? It will not become uchita. So the dhatu, guess dhatu could be less. Is there a dhatu? Which let's see what the dhatu. It's a good question. Let's see what's the good dhatu. Any guesses out there, by the way? Dhatu in uchita. Any guesses? Anybody? What I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at this Madhya dhatu vritti. Let's give the form uchita. Okay, here it goes. Page 558. See, page 558 is the form. Dhatu is uch. Dhatu is uch, uch.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Uch samavaye. That seems to be the uchitaha auchityam. Yes, brahmanaditva. So correct. So uchitaha dhatu is uch. It's not dhatu vach will become ukta. Okay. Ukta will become vach. So uch samanvaye, samavaye, uch samavaye. Okay. So that's the dhatu. I guess to go samavaye means to, I think, to go together, to be fit for, to kind of accustomed to. Okay, so now ujyamanaha. And what does it say? Ujyamanaha vahe dhatoho karmani shanach. It's present participle passive form. It's present participle passive form. So we have the dhatu vah, which has taken samprasaranam, become ujya. So we have the dhatu vah plus lat really. In the passive sense, we have the dhatu vah plus lat. And okay, now I can't mute Terry. Can you mute Terry, Kalpesh? I cannot do it.
Let me try.
Something is wrong with the muting, unmuting today. But anyway, so vah plus lat, but in the passive now. So then what we need to do is that we have to bring in the because it's Ramaha Ujyamanaha. So we are looking for actually a participle form. So normally we would bring the tiptaji as we normally do. But here, instead of tiptaji, the entire lat is now going to become into the shatru or shanach as the case may be, to form a present participle. By the sutram, lata shatru shanacha asamanadikarane. So apratama samanadikarane. So as long as you don't have the in fact, we have a bit of a problem, but let me try to finish. I know we're out of time right now. So, but 3, I'm looking at the Vartamane Lat. The next sutra of the Vartamane Lat is Lata Shatrushana Chau. Vasu has a question. Yes, sorry. Yes, Vasu.
Hanji. The Vahanam also, Vah is the root, right?
Yes, correct. Vahanam, you're absolutely correct. So that by which somebody is carried is Vahanam. So yes, you're absolutely correct, Vahanam. Actually, so actually in Vaha, you can make it Vahayati, make it causative. So means Vaha is to flow, but Vahayati means to make someone to go. So because if you just take the dhatu Vah, so you become Vahanam, will not become Vahanam. So I think probably you need to make a causative of that and then make this add this leaf pratyay, make it Vahanam. So Vahanam is that by which you make somebody go, which is like a car, a vehicle. Actually, in the English word vehicle also dhatu is Vah, only I think same dhatu. But see 3 to 124, lata shatrushana chau apratama samanadikarane. But the problem that we have is that we actually do have pratama samanadikaranam. The sutra says apratama samanadikarane. Now the justification for that is that because lat is coming in the prior sutram, 3 to 123 already has vartamane lat. Again Pani says lataha. So on that it is they justify in saying that but sometimes even when pratama samadhikaranam is there you can have shatru or shanach. In our case we do have that. We have ujyamanaha. It's pratama ekavachanam. Pratama ekavachanam what we have right now. And we want to use the word shanach. What is the typo in this, the rare typo in this document? It should be shanach, not shanach. Should be shanach. Please correct that. Shatru shanachau. This is a typo here. Okay, it's not shanach. Okay, so let's go 3 to 124 for 1 second, and then we'll wrap this up. I just want to mention that because if you look at the sutram as such, you'll wonder that because I always tell you many times, we check all the conditions of sutram to make sure they're all satisfied. And it looks right now it's not satisfied for us because Pani is saying to use this pratyaya only apratama samadhikarane. Then how can we use in the word ujyamana? We cannot do that. But look at the Kashara, what it says is that apratama samadhikarane iti kim. He says, then he says lati iti vartamane. So anuti of lat was coming down. Lati iti vartamane punar lat grahanam. So lat punar, so again Pani is saying lat. Punar lat grahanam. This is a typo in this document. Should be lat grahanam. It's lat grahanam. It's lat, I think. Lat grahanam. It's okay. Adhika vidhanartham means that she wants to make an extension. Adhika vidhanam is extension. Kvachit prathama samadhikarane api bhavati san brahmanaha asti brahmanaha. So sometimes you see also in prathama samadhikarane. So anyway, so that's the way they justify using this prathama samadhikarane. This 3 to 124, even though sutram clearly says aprathama samadhikarane, because of the use of the lat twice, they make it as a loophole to use this one, 3 to 124. We bring in the, instead of being tiptasji, we make it into Shanach. Now why Shanach? Because we know it's going to be Atmanepadam. The passive is always Atmanepadam. I think it's 1.3.13 Sutram for that. Is there's almost no exception in the whole language. Generally, well, there are very rare exceptions, is that the passive forms will always be Atmanepadam because of Bhava Karmanoho. Sutram is Bhava Karmanoho. So that's one says, and that one is the 1.3.13, Bhava Karmanoho, always Atmanepadam. Now when that comes, you then bring in the pratyaya which is called yak, Sarva Dhatuke yak. See, we are so used to bringing the pratyaya shap, but the shap only comes kartari. Actually, yak is actually a default pratyaya for Sarva Dhatuke is yak. But then kartari shap. So the shap overrules the yak if in the active voice. But if you don't have active, then if you have pratyaya which is Sarva Dhatuke, you have to bring in the yak pratyaya. It's 3.167. So prior to kartari shap, we have the pratyaya which is called yak. To remove all the it letters now, what do we have? We have vah plus ya plus ana is what you have. Now we need two more things. We need to bring in the ma to make it mana. And we want to make samprasaranam for the va to make it samprasaranam. The samprasaranam, there are two main rules of samprasaranam. What is samprasaranam? Igyana samprasaranam. It's the reverse of yan sandhi. The reverse of yan is called samprasaranam. Samprasaranam is igyana samprasaranam. So if you place the ik which comes in place of the yan, it's called samprasaranam. So right now we have the va and we're going to make the u in place of that. So igyana samprasaranam. So that is a sanya sutram. And there are only two main rules for that, which is 6.1.15.16 is what is mainly used to tell which dhatus can take samprasaranam. So 1.1.45 tells igyana samprasaranam. I know we're a little bit over time today, but let me finish this one form and then we'll stop with this. So 1.1.45 is tells you what is samprasaranam. Is igyana samprasaranam. So 1.1.45. And then Pandit gives a list of 20 dhatus in 6.1.15.16. And maybe we'll repeat this next time again because we're out of time. So 6.1. So first we need that. First we need the 1.1.45. So what is samprasaranam? And then we have to come to 6.1.15.16. The list of 20 dhatus. And in that it says vachi, swapi, yajadinam kiti. And then he says grahi, ja, vayi, vyadhi, vashti, vashati, vishchati, prichhati, and some other ones. He says this is a whole list. So we have to find our dhatu in this list. And this vachi, swapi, yajadinam kiti, dhatu vach and swap and the yajadis. These yajadis are the last 9 dhatus in the bhavadigana called yajadis. The last 9 dhatus in the bhavadigana are called yajadis. And in that, vaha is in that list. So let me put this in document. We'll do it next time again. So for 1.1.45 defines what is samprasaranam. So that gives the definition. And then in 6.1.15, the dhatu vah is contained in the yajadi list. Contained in yajadi, yaj, etc. Yaj, etc. list, which are the last 9 dhatus, which is the last 9 dhatus in the bhuadigana, last 9 roots in the bhuadigana. So that is there. So now, so what we have to do is that we have to replace. So that is one condition it has. It should be a pratyaya which is kit pratyaya falling. So in the kit pratyaya is falling. So now do we have that? Yeah, we definitely do have that because the pratyaya yak came in, which is a kit pratyaya. So this va is going to become u. So now what does that leave us with? We are going to have the u. We still have the akara still there because remember the va is actually equal to va plus a. Va plus a. So only the va becomes u. So then we're going to have the u. Still have the a remaining there, and then the remaining form. This is ha, and this yak plus shana. So I'll just remove the it letters, become ya plus ana. Now normally what would happen is that if we apply yan sandhi, this u will go back to va. See, u plus a, if we apply yan sandhi, we are going to go back to the va. So that would defeat the whole purpose of Samprasaranam. So if you do a Yant Sandhi again, go back to, but Sutram it says Samprasaranach. Samprasaranach is Pura Parayoho Ekadeshaha. Is the Pura Rupam becomes the Ekadeshaha. So Samprasaranach we says that the prior form will become the 61108. 61108 says when you do Samprasaranam, then between the Samprasaranam vowel and the next vowel, there is an Ekadeshaha. So only the U remains basically. So only this A plus U will become U. This 61108 becomes Samprasaranach. 61108. And I'm going a little bit fast today, but we are out of time. 61108. So then we get the form Ujja, and finally we need to make the form Ujjamana, which is Ane Muk. Ane Muk. This is Muk Agama. So when you have an Anga ending in short A, and the Ana is following, it becomes, the Anga takes a Muk Agama. It's called Ane Muk. Ane Muk. I think it's coming in 7 to
82.
82. 7 to 82. Thank you. So 7 to 82 brings in the Muk Agama to the Anga. So all this is becoming into, we take all of this and go down and we get the Ma over here. So it becomes Ma, and that completes the form. We'll repeat this next time one more time just to everybody's on board. Ujjamana. So basically this is the Samprasaranam by 6115, Samprasaranacha by 61108 is Ekadesha. Then 7 to 82 brings the Ana Pratyaya. It requires the Anga ending in short A, so Ujjamana. Then you do Ujjamana. So did we get everything here? Now one thing is saying is that Ujjamana ityatra Dirgha Adir Apapataha. Apapata means it's a corrupted text. So Dirgha Adir Apapataha. So in some of the manuscripts they have it as Ujjamanaha. So that he's saying is not the right reading. That's also, these commentaries are very good because they tell you when you have the wrong reading and the right readings, by the way. So commentaries are very good for that. Because generally when you have a commentary, it is the commentator's job to pick up the correct readings. Sometimes he might accept 2 or 3 readings also. He might also accept alterations. Sometimes he might say this is not the right patha. Ujjamanaha ityata dirgha adir apapataha. So dirgha adi, so Ujjamana would have been the wrong patha. Why do you say that? Dirgha prapti abhava. There's no rule to make it dirgha. So dirgha prapti abhavat. Okay, I think we got everything here. Let's just try to look at this. Who wants to take the translation for me now? I think the problem is, I think we have to go between 2 pages though. Is that the problem? Okay, let's do this. I have to maybe have to kind of stagger this. Okay, this is a translation. Okay, the translation is here. Is okay? Let's try this. Okay, who wants to try this one? Anybody wants to volunteer? Let's see who else is there. Suzanne is there. I think Terry can do it. Terry is done. Radhika ji wants to do it. Okay, Radhika ji wants to do it. Good.
Yes, I can move.
Okay. Says the tales of bygone days. So the tales is what?
Hadithai.
I think they probably
Haditha.
I think probably vritta. So I think the tales probably vritta is the occurrence or vritta means any happening or occurrence. And then of bygone days is probably pura vritta.
Purva.
Pura vritta is of bygone days. Related is Kachitaihi. So by their father's friend. So he made it by there. So he changed it, he made by there. It should really be is by the narrations of historical events, of their father's friend. But anyway, we can take it. So father is of course is Pitra, right? And friend is the Sakhasya. And skilled in legends is Puravidaha. So legend is Pura is taken legend. And with is who knows that. So lifted and carried them is the It's Ujyamana. Ujyamana. I don't know why he's saying them, because you have only one. Because I think why he's saying them, because he's saying Raghavaha Sanujaha. So Raghava with his brother. I think that's why he's saying them. Raghava with his brother. So that's the them. That accustomed as they were to move in chariots.
Vahanochitaha.
Vahanochitaha, accustomed to move in chariots. He has not translated this Raghava Sanuja. He has not translated that. I don't know why, but it should really be Ramaha along with his brother.
They. Here we have they.
Yeah, he just said they. But
Raghava and Sanujaha.
Yeah, Raghava Sanuja is made into they in the translation. Yes, little bit of a summarizing. Anyway, they scarce felt is, I think, na vyabhavayata. They did not notice. Did not notice that now they walked on foot. Is the
Padacharamati.
Padacharamati.
No.
So the accustomed to moving chariots is the Vahanochitaha. Lifted and carried by them is Ujyamanaha.
Ujyamana.
And they did not notice is the Navyabhava. Okay, thank you. Sorry a little bit late today, but we had to finish the sloka. I'll try to repeat next time. So remember, today we learned the Samprasaranam, very important concept, the reverse of Yan Sandhi. If you have time at home, look at 6.1, 15, 16 for all the dhatus and try to go through the document. I'll post it. We have this Google Doc going now, so I'll post it, later on with Kalpeshji's help. So let's do the Mangalacharam. I'll stay back for questions. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Vyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bhorama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Namaiti. Again, happy Ram Navami is coming on next Wednesday.